don't put that pressure on yourself. Just be you and enjoy what you get to do, because you get to make art for a living.
Yeah.
And that's pretty freaking cool.
As you've worked for these bigger brands, I know we mentioned Chick-fil-A, we mentioned NFL, we mentioned Dude Perfect, and we need to circle back to Nike, but what sort of, how have you held your ground as who you are as a creative and what you bring to the table? And then what have you learned along the way? Has there been any big lessons or things that stand out that you could share with us?
So one of the things I learned, going back to like kind of the pricing strategy I had, is once I decided, hey, I'm going to lock in on project rates and that's just going to be what I'm going to do. Yeah, you get unlimited revisions. Let's get it right for you guys. But this is going to be my thing. I'm not messing with day rates or hourly rates. I had a big, Nike came through another studio, and the studio was like, hey, can you come on this Nike job for us? And I said, man, be an honor. I'd love to work for Nike. It's always been a dream. And great. What's your day rate? I was like, well, I don't do day rates. Can you tell me more about the project? Let's have a conversation so I can give you an accurate, or at least a range of a project rate. Sure. It's like, sorry, we only do day rates and hourly rates here. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to find another artist, because I'm not that guy.
Whoa, right? It's Nike, So there's a lot of guys that would go, anything, yeah, absolutely, sure, whatever you want. I'll, hey, this could be a springboard. This could be. So there's a lot of confidence there that I think is crucial to the success for yourself and the business that you're building, to be able to stand in that moment and do what was true for you and what you were committed to. I mean, did you feel like, or did you feel like, nope, I'm making the right choice? Yeah, no, this is it. I mean, you had no problem.
Yeah, I knew I was making the right choice, because I knew that even though it would have been a cool project, at the end of the day, I'm a business, right? And I need to make money. And I knew if I would have done it for a rate they would have wanted, I would have lost money via time on that project. And I would have felt icky about it, and it would have made me feel weird.
So you were not affected by the FOMO.
Oh God, no. FOMO's, who cares? Like for me, some of my best clients are like the super unsexy work. And it's some of my favorite work, because they give me full creative control, and I get to do all these cool kind of experimental things for them. But like, it's not anything you're going to see.
And you had mentioned before,
online.
Exactly, right? And you had mentioned before, we got seated here, that you no longer do the sexy work. You're not worried about that.
If it comes down the pipe, great. That'd be, I'd love to take a look at it. If they do project rates and we can make something awesome together, awesome. But
you're not you're not chasing that. I think a lot of creatives, we do that. We want to go after what we think will help us look good, right?
Yeah.
And be part of that highlight reel, that whole idea of like one for the reel, one for the meal. You're like, screw that. I
don't give a shit about looking good. I just want to make money and help my clients win.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that. So that's really cool. Anything else that come to mind? I mean, how was it to work with Dude Perfect? Is there anything you could say about those guys or?
Oh, awesome guys. Yeah, I got to work through a production company called 46 Entertainment with Lauren and Nathan and the team there. And they're unbelievable team, unbelievable guys. I have nothing but positive things to say about them.
Yeah.
They were great. And what was cool about that is I got to bring some of my friends on, Michael and Chris, to kind of help me do some of the design and help support some animation stuff. And I think we made a product that looked really great. And I think at the end of the day, Lauren and the Dude Perfect guys were super happy with it. That's so awesome. I hope to work with them again.
So we've got money, right? We've got decisions around that made, standing confidently in what you know, how you'd like to work. And now we've got time. So how are you applying that same confidence and decision-making from that you had over here to your time? I mean, is your schedule a 9 to 5, or you work, I know you run things a little differently. So talk about that.
Yeah, so those are kind of like the two commodities, right? Like money and time.
Yeah.
The difference is you can always make more money, right?
Yeah.
You can never make more time. You can only lose time. So by default, it's more valuable to me. So for me, I try to schedule in a few hours a day, every day, where I'm just pouring into myself, whether that's doing something that's not motion design, like making craft cocktails, or hanging out with my wife and my dog, or seeing friends, or just having a good time, or playing video games, or watching The Office or something, right? Like those things fill me up and allow me to do this other thing better, right?
Yeah.
And so even though I have 12 to 18 projects going on simultaneously, I try to only work on average about 2 to 4 hours a day.
Okay. That sounds crazy, but
it sounds crazy,
intriguing.
But if you look at the corporate world, right? That's all they're working. The other 9 not 9, the other 5 hours in a day are filled up with meetings and lunch breaks. I just cut out all the bullshit. And once you can cut out all that crap and you can just dial in and get like to the work.
When you say work, you literally mean like the technician, like work. Because there's selling and there's serving, right? And this idea that you're doing the work, but how are you marketing then too? Then
I've just been fortunate to not really have to.
You don't really have to push. The phone just rings, emails come through, people reach out, right?
Yeah.
Text
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
At least today.
Right. Yeah.
Can't speak for the future, but
so you basically don't have to worry about half of the responsibility of, because you've got the doing and the selling. So that's great. You're able to focus on that. And I'm sure your wife appreciates it, right? You've got more margin and time.
She does. When I worked at my last job, I'd work from about 8 to 4, right? And then I'd come home and I'd take like 2 or 3 hours off and I'd work more on like my freelance stuff from like 7 to midnight or 1 a.m.
Are you an early riser or?
I like to think I'm an early riser, but I honestly am not. Most days today I got up at 5, but most days I probably wake up at like 7:30 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I get up early. I usually will try to go for a run in the morning to kind of clear my head and get the blood flowing, get everything jumping, come back, take a shower, start the coffee, get 2 cups of coffee, go downstairs to my basement. By that time it's about 9:15, run through some emails, kind of like, check what's going on, read a couple newsletters to stay in the know. And then I usually do like what I call like a work session from about 9:30 to like maybe like noon or 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll make myself some lunch, eat lunch. And then after that, it can be anything from taking my dog to a walk to hanging out with my wife to maybe getting ahead on other work or make art for myself or whatever. Kind of the afternoons is creative thinking and free play.
So this has all been really helpful. I think, at least for me, I know that I've gleaned a lot of things. Even every time we talk, there's always another little Fortanbary nugget that comes in just right through. So, but is there anything you'd like to say for the creatives watching, especially those that are just starting out, that are things that you see as opportunities for improvement or mistakes or misconceptions there are that you see, or just things that you wish you had known when you started out in your field and what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't have a ton of advice because I still consider myself like a young creator.
Yeah, sure.
And so
we're all always learning, right?
Yeah, but like there are a lot of people like you guys that have it a lot more figured out than me. So I'm just like trying to learn from you guys and other people, and that's kind of like
we're all riding someone's coattails.
100%. And like for me, that's why I try to surround myself with people who are better than me in a lot of ways, not just motion design. Like, yes, I want to be and befriend better and more talented motion designers, but I also want to surround myself with people that make me better. So like my wife is a prime example. She makes me a better man, right? I have, guys that I like trust implicitly, with my life and all these different aspects of my life who will call me on my BS. When they think I'm starting to be a more unhealthy version of myself, they'll call me out on it, right? I have a mentor, a family friend who pours into me constantly, and is talking to me and, getting me up when I'm down and maybe when I'm a little high, pushing me down, a little bit, keeping me humble.
Yeah.
So like surrounding yourself with a support network is huge because when you can do that, everything else kind of just sort of shakes out. Because I know, the world of freelance is very unpredictable. It can be feast or famine. But when it's famine, I'm not worried about not eating because I know I have a support network of family and friends that are going to make sure my wife and I have food and my mortgage gets paid. Like they're not going to let me go live out in the streets and be homeless. And because of that support system I have set up, I'm allowed to kind of like take a little bit more risks. Yeah, I can be a little riskier with how I do things and how I approach things. And it's an honor to kind of be that support system for those friends too and family. So yeah, that's it. A couple other things I would say for artists that are just starting out. Again, I don't really have much room to say. I mainly, I'm, if anything, only a half step above maybe people coming out of college in terms of talent and skill. There are super talented kids coming out of college. But I would say like right now, like when you're in school, you think, oh man, all these people, they have it all put together. Like they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then when you get out into like the real world, you realize nobody has a clue what they're doing and we're all kind of making it up.
It's true.
And we still don't know how to price our work and we still mess up and we still,
we're all human.
Yeah. We're doing things we don't want to be doing and we're not doing things that we should be doing and this whole mess. And like, I remember thinking in college, like, wow, like all these people have it together. And then you get out in the world and you're like, no, they totally don't. So like, don't let the pressure of trying to get your life together, especially as an artist, which is already very up and down. Like, don't put that pressure on yourself. Just be you and enjoy what you get to do, because you get to make art for a living.
Yeah.
And that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. That's really good. Good word, man.